Hari Om. In order to understand the concept of dhyana in Hinduism, we need to be aware of three terms: Indriyas, Manah, Buddhi. Indriyas are the senses, the five organs of perception. Manah is mind and Buddhi is the intellect. Now, the intellect is said to be of the form of awareness. There is awareness of things that we have. I am aware right now that there is a camera in front of me. Now this awareness is there because the light from the camera reaches to the sense. From the sense it reaches to the mind. From the mind it reaches to the intellect. And it is the intellect that is aware of this camera. This is the concept in Hinduism. But the intellect itself does not have any light. It merely reflects the light of consciousness. The goal of meditation is simply to withdraw this awareness from the senses towards the mind, from the mind towards the intellect, and from the intellect towards itself, the state of pure consciousness. This is dhyana in Hinduism, or meditation. Now, how do we achieve it? The first task is to be not aware of the objects of the senses. If we can accomplish that, that would be the first victory. So to do that, we sit in a secluded place, we sit in a very comfortable position, and then we close our eyes and gently focus on our mind. We have to do nothing else, just focus on the mind. Once our focus on the mind becomes locked, the senses and the objects of the senses disappear. An example for this would be when you are engrossed reading a book and someone calls your name and you don't hear it because your mind is locked here. So if you can lock your awareness on the mind, then the senses and their objects will disappear from your vision. Now, don't do anything, just observe the mind. Once you are locked on the mind, you will realize gradually, it takes time, it does not happen overnight, but gradually you will reach a state of realization that you are not the mind, that this awareness is a bit separate from the mind. The more and more this dawns on you, the more detached you become, to such an extent that eventually the mind is renounced. Now, the mind has not gone dead, but we have separated from the mind. So, when you emerge from meditation, you will find that the mind is still the same wild monkey that it was in the past. Now, once you are withdrawn from the mind and intellect remains without any job, the focus is purposeless at this point. So, the intellect gradually dissolves. In this state, pure consciousness shines as itself. This is the state that is called samadhi in Sanskrit. This is the goal of dhyana. When we meditate, the sole purpose of that meditation is to eventually to be able to remain as pure consciousness. There are some tips that are provided when talking about meditation in Hinduism. One of them is seclusion. If you want to really speed up the process of meditation, you need to reduce the number of distractions around you. So, if you are just beginning to meditate, an ideal place would be somewhere where no one would come to disturb you, no sound would be there to disturb you. A very quiet place. If you can't find such a place, then use it. Sit there in a comfortable position. The purpose of your posture is simply to keep the body still so that it won't distract you. If your body is feeling uncomfortable, you will be constantly drawn towards the body. So meditating would become very difficult. So sit in a comfortable position. It does not matter where you sit. Just sit in a comfortable position and gradually withdraw your focus from the senses towards the mind. To assist this, we close our eyes because the eyes are generally very distracting. So once it is closed, you are naturally drawn towards the mind, the layer of thoughts, constant bubbling of thoughts. Now here, you may find good thoughts, you may find bad thoughts. Does not matter. Just stand back and watch. The only thing you have to do is observe. That is one of the foundation of meditation, to observe. If you can stand back and observe the mind, irrespective of what kind of chatter it is engaging in, gradually the chatter will reduce. Gradually, you will be able to transcend the mind. Once that is attained, the intellect, as we know, once it is jobless, it becomes dissolved into consciousness, the very foundation of its existence. In that state, you remain as pure as you can ever be. Hari Om.